and welcome to the session. So, it's Thursday again, and here we are with the resume preparation session. So, today's topic is resume success blueprint, building out a standout summary. Now, here, when talk about this, let's talk about design and all, right? Now, why resume design is important? This is what we need to see. Why consistent formatting is important. How to use strategic use of colors and typography, effective use of space and bullets, incorporating visual elements, tools and resources for resume design, practical tips for immediate application. We'll see all those things. But before that, remember, as we always say, we will have exclusive resume preparation session. And let me tell you one thing that this session is part of it. Now, when we are talking about all these things and you're watching this video on YouTube, please feel free to subscribe to our YouTube channel. Like this video. If you like this video, please share this with your friends and family. Now, we always talk about design of resume. We always talk about resume, right? Now we need to understand why resume design is important. We know it will go to ATS, applicant tracking system, and at the very same time, after it is done, ATS will play the important role. But at the very same time, it will after that go to a recruiter, right? Recruiter will have enough time to see your resume. Of course, if your resume looks super good, he will be impressed beforehand, right? So before every interview, of course, everyone goes through a resume. Now, for the same thing, when you talk about resume, designing the resume is also important. So, what's the purpose of designing your resume? Well, it highlights the significance of visually appealing resumes. We all know visually appealing resumes are very, very important. Makes us feel good, right? Exactly. So this is what the purpose of it. We know the first impression when we talk about, it's always said, first impression is the last impression. Well, first impression can make or break your job opportunities. Now, if you think about all these things, we know it is very, very impactful if you have a resume design that looks super good, right? Also, when we talk about balance, well, you have to balance content as well as design to make sure that your resume stands out. And what's the goal of it? As we said, your resume should stand out, right? Now, goal is simple, standing out in a competitive job market. Now, for these things, resume design is very much important. Now, see what difference it makes. This is one slide to show you one resume that is before and after. How arranged the second resume looks and how clear that second resume looks, right? And that's the sole reason resume design is very important. Now, if you have a resume of two people, one and two, of course, it's Jack Anderson here. But what if you have two resume? It's very, very clear. And which one will you choose? It's a no-brainer. We can clearly see which one anyone will go for. Exactly. So that's the reason resume design is very much important. What is one thing that separates your resume from others' resume? Design, and after that, we talk about formatting. Well, formatting is very much important. There should be the uniformity in formatting. We should stick to one font size and type. Alignment. Talking about alignment, it should be aligned properly. When you talk about text or margins, well, it should be uniformly aligned. Whenever you're using any software to create your resume, make resume, make sure you take care of alignment. That's a big problem sometimes. Talking about looks, well, if your layout is very, very clean, the recruiter will have that positive image, right? And if you have a professional look to your resume, well, it stands out. And that's our goal, right? We have to give attention to detail, right? Attention to each and every point there, be it font, be it text, be it margins, anything. And well, when you talk about attention to detail, it's a beautiful quality that if you have that quality that you see, you just go for attention to the details. It reflects candidates' meticulous nature. It reflects that the candidate, student, or the candidate or the applicant won't keep any stone unturned, right? So that is one thing that separates you and your competition. Now, after this, when we talk about consistent formatting, here's one more example. Suppose we have one formatting in this way. We have written objective, education, skills, everything is given. But look at spelling mistakes, right? Now think of it. Even you think if the person is making spelling mistakes even in libraries, Python libraries, do you think is that person is even a data scientist or data analyst? Of course not, right? Now what do you need to do? Well, you need to keep your resume clean and easy to read. You need to use a professional font, maybe Arial, maybe Calibri, or Times New Roman. These are the fonts that are very important. You need to keep a professional size or a readable size. Generally, 14 and 12 is considered. You can utilize bullet points for easy readability. Also, make sure that you use subheadings. Subheadings enhance your resume in a really good way. Subheadings to enhance readability. And yes, formatting should be consistent. There should font size, style, headings, etc. should be very, very consistent. Well, you need to avoid grammatical mistakes, spelling mistakes, all these things, right? Because again, when we talk about resume, these are really good communication skill. We can just see communication skill, a very good form of written communication. Think of it in 1 to 3 pages. You are clearly demonstrating your written communication. Well, that's really good, right? Exactly. Now, our resume can be black and white. Well, it's preferred that you use color and typography. Of course, black and white resume hold their own charm, but at the very same time, colors, if you use properly, actually make your resume look really, really good. When we talk about color theory, well, we can employ a professional color palette to highlight key sections. Like this, a resume in the right side. You can clearly see a dark purple color. Well, it is enhancing that resume. When we talk about typography, we can use bold and italics to create hierarchy of information. For example, here in the talk when we talk about work history or your name, for example, Emma Farhan, that is written in bold and the biggest font. After that, there is, for example, work history subheading. It's important, right? And that's the reason it's written in dark. When we talk about human resource manager, it's written in a smaller font, thus creating the hierarchy. And whatever else needs to be written is written in even smaller font. Again, a clear hierarchy. Now, talking about focus point, we need to make sure we mention our achievements and skill in a really proper way. This will actually draw eyes to important achievements and skills. And readability, well, if you are giving proper spaces, if you are using proper techniques, proper color, it will actually enhance the readability and scannability of your resume. What is readability? Well, how we can read your resume, how well it feels when someone reads your resume, or easily someone can read your resume. It's readability. Talking about scannability, whenever we talk about our resume, the recruiter has what, 20, 30 seconds or 20 seconds max to go for your resume and just look at it. Have a look at it. Just see if the person has mentioned important sections or not. That's it. And what are the skills? Are those skills important for this current job? This is what recruiters see. Now, talking about effective use of space and bullets. Well, you need to make sure you organize your resume in really good way. We'll see the example. You can use bullet points for clear and concise communication. White space, if we talk about, you can use adequate spacing to avoid clutter. Presentation, of course, if the layout is clean, your information will stand out. We have talked about this. Talking about ease of reading. Now, make sure resume is easier to scan quickly. Now, as we discussed, 15 seconds, 20 seconds max. This is what the value of your resume is, right, in the job market. You think they have the whole day to see your resume? No. 20, 30 seconds max. That's it. You need to make sure your resume stands out during that period. Well, here's one more example. This, for example, in the left side, it's completely written, a complete block of project details written. Whereas on the right side, we have risk modeling for renal post transplant complications. When talk about client, here we have client, here we have business problem, business solution, technology stack, business benefits, all those things mentioned here, right? Now, talking about visual elements, you can mention infographic in your resume. If you mention infographics, basically, it will be just help to understand data quickly. You need to make sure that the photos you use is industry appropriate and polished headshot. When we call it headshot, of course, your face should be clearly visible. Now, talking about icons, of course, don't use much icons. See here, the minimum number of icons we have used. Minimal icons for clean visualization of skill and or interest. Talking about customization, well, we need to customize our resume as per the job or the industry. Right? If you're applying for a data scientist in one company, the same resume cannot be useful for as a data scientist in another company. Right? So the tool or resources for resume design. Well, we have Adobe InDesign, we have Microsoft Word, and we have Canva. Practice it every single day, and soon your resume will stand out. Talking about template use. Well, we can use professional templates as a starting point. Right? Whatever professional template is given, you can use that and do it as a starting point. Right? Now, after some time, you will improve on that and you will be really, really good. After that, we have continuous learning. We access online courses and tutorials. Make sure you are learning completely, right? And you are learning continuously. Experimentation, well, you can try for various design approaches. Which one feels good? You can go for that. Now, practical tips for immediate applications. If you have to actually apply for immediate applications, you want to send your resume, we'll just suggest best practices to follow current resume design trends. Whatever will be the trends, you need to follow that. We need to update our resume every single time to maintain relevancy. Customization, you need to adapt your resume or adapt your resume to the job description that is given. And for each job description, doesn't matter how many times you're applying. Right. Now, talking about do's and don't, there are essential tips. For example, when you talk about preparation, prepare those things properly. Right. Again, as we said, font size should be proper. Right. We have discussed all those things beforehand. Font size should be proper. Readability should be there. There should be natural language flow. Natural language flow, if you're talking about, for example, don't just make it complete packed with action keywords basically. Right. There should be breathing space. There should be a natural language that flows. that will actually interest people to know about yourself, to know about you basically. Now, here are a few famous job portals that you can use to upload your resume and search for jobs too. Talking about a few Google search results, we have different job vacancies. Well, if you do Google that, you can clearly get all those things. Now, here are the keywords for data scientist resume. Now, we can mention most of these keywords in data analyst resume too, but it's really important to use data scientist resume here. And the keywords that can be used are given here. Be it technical skill and tools, be it analytical skill, be it business understanding, data management, and soft skills. Right. We need to give keywords. You can use these keywords to enhance your resume. Now, there are some frequently asked questions. How could you have improved your career progress? Now, these questions are generally asked in interviews, and be prepared for these questions so that you don't regret. Right? How could you have improved your career progress? What do you worry about? Give me example of your creativity. How do you feel about working nights and weekends? Are you willing to relocate or travel? Well, these are the questions that are really asked by employers or recruiters. They want to know about these things. Today, actually in my class, I was discussing about the same thing. Right now, Vincent Van Gogh said, "I don't know anything with certainty, but seeing the stars make me dream." Again, where there's no certainty of anything, right? You need to make sure that you work towards something, work towards whatever factors we are discussing while you make your resume, right? And I understand you must be dreaming now, thinking about how to improve your resume. Yes, please do it. That will be really, really great. Now, talking about us, 360DigiTMG, we have the contact number given on the screen. Please feel free to call. It's a toll free number. Feel free to call us or mail us at inquiry at 360dtmg.com and visit our website 360dtmg.com. Well, there are centers. We have centers in Hyderabad, Bangalore, and Chennai. Of course, all these are offline centers, and we have other centers too. While you're watching this video, I request you to pause this video so that you can scan it here and follow us on Instagram. You can scan it here and subscribe to our YouTube channel and scan it here and follow us on LinkedIn. Talking about accreditation, we have accreditation to international certification bodies like Microsoft, State University of New York, Future Skills Prime, Panasonic, and TCS9. Now, you must be thinking, okay, that's really good. What we talk about is really good. Now, where you can use this tool, so we have different tools. What you can do or what we provide from our side to make sure that your experience is really, really good. You experience a really good pleasure, you experience pleasure while you're crafting your resume or when you are making your resume ATS friendly. How to do that? Well, we have a lot of things for you. Doesn't matter if you're preparing for interview or if you're reading is otherwise. Well, we have a lot of things for you. Let me take you there. And let me take this opportunity to go to our beautiful website. Now, here, this is 360DMG's website. Right. Now, this is 360DMG's website. Now, once you are here, you can come here and see this is a beautiful website. We can see we partner with industry leaders like Microsoft, Panasonic, NASCOM, Skill India, all those things. You can see our popular courses. Well, you can see certificate program in data science, cloud computing, ML on cloud, MLOps, etc. Talking about domain analytics, we have 76 plus domains. Right. Now, here We talk about our differentiators. You can read about us. You can see what our alumni speak and the career transition. Of course, something that we are really, really proud of. You can go here and read their reviews, right? You can, if you want, you can see that our alumni work at different companies, big companies basically. Now, you must be thinking, okay, that's good. What's in it for us? So let me take you to a few really, really good resources. For example, mind maps. Mind maps is for easy internalization of concepts. When I talk about mind maps, we have different mind maps here, right? Many mind maps, in fact. Now, you can go here and just see each and everything is given here. If you actually go through these mind maps, you will feel that you are ready for the interview, right? Make sure that you are revising mind maps correctly and revising mind maps many times. Now, from here, let me take you to the learning resources. Of course, from directly to our website, through our website, we can go there. Let's talk about learning resources. And here, we can see there are a lot of things for you, right? Micro learning is what we want to do. Well, macro learning is very important. You will understand during the course of the course of time why I'm saying the same thing. You can see the upcoming sessions. Talking about core learning resources, we have skill development and enhancement. We have digital learning library. Let me just show it this thing to you. There we go. A very interactive digital learning library. Here, all the data science information is given here. We have a lot of knowledge in this particular book, right? Next, we have AI Design Studio for ML and data skill assessment. We'll come back to this later. Now, let's talk about our hero for today evening, Resume Optimization Hub, right? Now, here, what we do, we upload our resume and do page the job description. Now, this is how the resume optimizer look like. Resume optimizer or resume optimization hub, we call it. What do we do here? We upload our resume and either paste our job description or choose a file or update a file related to the same. For example, if I say upload your job description, here's intern's job description, sorry, intern's resume and intern's job description, for example. Of course, you can just paste it here and continue. You take your time to compare. Now, let's not invest our time there. When we compare, for example, we get keyword matching result like this, where we get job skills required for required job skills missing in the resume, and job required skills that are present in the resume. Now, all these things you can easily add in your resume. You can just add those points and you can generate a new resume, or you can just select anything here. For example, when we talk about dashboard, and then you can go for interview question. Of course, it takes time to generate those questions. Till the time, you can just go for innovative projects or success story. You can read innovative project, or we talked about success story that we have here. Now, here we have interview questions, many interview questions, of course. Now, think of it. You are here, you see what are the factors that are mentioned in your resume, right? Matching result, if you see, it's really, really good, but at the very same time, you are worried how to proceed with the interview preparation. Well, we have interview questions like this, right? You can use all these questions. Also, when we are talking about all these things, we can generate our resume. If you want to mention something, for example, you mention all these things here, and you can generate our resume too. Of course, it will take a lot of time, or not a lot of time, but a couple of minutes, or a couple of seconds. We know it is very important, right? And we need to make sure that we prepare the best resume for you, right? Now, till we are here, of course, the next step you get is your resume. After this, when we are here, let me talk about again. You need to fill the details in your resume here. What are the projects you worked on, skills, certification, education, hobbies, etc. And of course, you can select a template, right? Which template you want, you can clearly select, right? And you can enter these values here. All this information can be entered here. Now, when we're talking about these things, let me talk about AI. Of course, when we are here, you can see conceptual understanding and insightful learning too, where we have strategic learning maps, innovative project showcases, and animated insight series. Now, when we talk about skill development and enhancement, we talk about AI Design Studio for Machine Learning. Here, we design a project architecture right from beginner level to intermediate to advanced level. Right now, consider you are a beginner. You can start with this simple project architecture from data sources to end user device. Right. If you are a person with intermediate knowledge, you can just use this workflow. And someone who knows data science in really good way, of course, an expert, advanced level person can import all the data here, can understand how to import data and all. And from here, right from the data sources to the monitoring and maintenance phase, completely, you can draw all these architecture here, right? Now, think of it. You being a fresher, and after that, you are showing this much skill. Won't your recruiter will be really impressed? He will be, right. Exactly. This is what we are talking about. You need to impress your recruiter. So make sure you go through all these things. Now, again, I request you, if you're watching this video on YouTube, just go to the section, playlist section, and we have a lot of videos for you. Every weekday, we have some or the other session, right? We have project explanation, we have research excellence, we have coding part, the resume preparation session, we are starting internship. On Saturdays, we have Gen AI, right? So there are so many things that are going on. And before also, we have been through all these things and we have plethora of knowledge available, the playlist section of our YouTube channel. You can go to the playlist. You can focus on these hard skills and focus on the soft skills too. There are many playlists related to soft skills as well as hard skills or technical skills, right? Now, here, I would like to take a leave for today. We have talked about how you can make your resume visually appealing and stand out from the crowd, right? How to use resume mapper, and yes, how to use this complete project architecture, right? So this is it from my side, team. We'll meet again next Thursday with new content, with freshly brewed content. So till that time, thank you so much, team. Thank you so much for you. Have an awesome weekend. Happy learning, team. Enjoy your weekend.